So the title was kind of a bit of a lie, I will admit that. Well, yes, I technically have played Minecraft on keyboard and mouse, both on Java and Bedrock. I haven't really given a full experience. What I mean by that is I try to play an entire world from start to finish, from the moment I spawn to the moment the Ender Dragon dies, while all on keyboard and mouse. And with this video, I'm going to try that now. Now, it is important to note that, well, yes, I am a Bedrock player. I've been playing Bedrock my entire life, and I'm also a controller player, playing that my entire life. I am no stranger to Java or Java mechanics. I know how it works, and I know the difference between both Java and Bedrock, as well as how keyboard and controller is vastly different too. I am not going in there completely baby-like, and not like I'm going to be completely ass at the game. Well, yes, I will be kind of bad, nowhere near to my skill level on controller. I'm not going to go in there dying every 25 seconds. I'm better than that. Now, with all of that out the way, let's get into it. I named the world Phoenix Versus, set the difficulty to hard because I always play on hard, because I like it hard, and created the world. I loaded into the world, ready to divide and conquer and enslave anything that comes across my path and kill anything that attempts to rise against me. So I got some wood and started up the basic like everyone normally does when starting off a new world. Get stone, make a table, start working on upgrading tools, all that sort of stuff. But I even did the cool thing that almost nobody ever does and make charcoal from wood so I can get torches early without even getting coal. Look at me, knowing things. Now, when I usually start off a world, I kind of play in a specific way. I get wood, I get tools, and I get food, and immediately after getting all of that, I dip underground and stay there until I either find diamonds, run out of food, die, or, in some cases, if I don't care about the world and just want to finish the game, I make a portal underground with lava and water. But since I'm on keyboard and mouse, and honestly, I don't have much faith in myself when it comes to this new combat and such, since I don't have much experience in it, I decided to stay in the surface for a bit longer. I went on a small adventure looking for the perfect place to set up camp, and after a while, I found it. I set up shop right by a village. I cooked some food with some handy dandy campfires and went right down to a cave to get some iron, and got my first taste of Java combat. Now, you can tell I'm a bit sluggish, and you may even call me a spoiled little boy in the comments, saying how easy we Bedrock players have it because we don't have cooldowns on our weapons, and I actually agree. These sissy boy hands have not been used to waiting a second before clicking while in combat. Moving on, after dealing with a few mobs and getting a bit further into the cave, I managed to find a single diamond. We're moving up in the world. I even found a skeleton spawner. But I didn't torch it though. Okay, small rant incoming, but skeletons are actually cracked in this game, both in Bedrock and Java. Like I mentioned before, I play on hard because I am no liberal sissy. And since I only exclusively play my worlds on hard, I have come to learn how AIDS, skeletons, and other mobs can be while playing on this difficulty. For those who don't know, skeletons get more accurate the higher the difficulty is, and on top of the added damage they do, it can be really cancer fighting them. Even worse if there's a lot of mobs nearby, and especially worse if those mobs are also skeletons. So yeah, I have a deep hatred for these things. Okay, rant over. After leaving the cave and smelting the raw iron I got, I decided to make a small sugarcane farm and make a full suit of iron, and head back down to a different cave. I was even lucky to find an Enderman and got a pearl from it. Now here's another thing that is different from Bedrock and Java. Fighting Endermen. Now in Bedrock, Endermen always teleport away after taking damage no matter what, so it always takes longer to kill an Enderman as they always TP away from each hit. It's especially longer if you have fire aspect on your sword. In Bedrock, it would normally take around, I want to say a minute to kill an Enderman if you're lucky, but in Java, it was smooth and simple, and it literally only took me 6 seconds to kill it. And man, let me tell you, that was a breath of fresh air. This was one thing Java has over Bedrock. One last thing about the Enderman. In Java, you can have a staring contest with them, as they will hold still if you stare them in the eyes. In Bedrock, this isn't a thing, so this is another point for Java. This is something you may notice throughout the video, me comparing Java with Bedrock, as I am an avid Bedrock player and I've been playing Bedrock for my entire life. I've gotten used to the mechanics and how it works. So playing Java is going to be a bit something different for me. So, yeah. Moving on, after mining some more iron and killing 2 creepers, I headed back up to the servers just before nighttime. And soon after, I went on a different adventure to a different cave, and this one was special as I had to deal with a witch, on top of all the other mobs in that cave. But I was able to isolate the witch by running away and have it chase me, and I was able to kill it pretty simply, if anything. After that, I looted a nearby mineshaft and was able to find the last 2 pieces of diamond I needed, so I was able to make a pickaxe. I immediately went straight home afterwards. Now, usually when I get diamonds, the first thing I make is a pickaxe as I get more uses out of it, and if I happen to get more, I make an enchanting table. And yes, I say enchanting table, not enchantment table, because I'm not weird. And after that, if I happen to get more, I make a sword and everything else afterwards. Now, after heading back to camp and making the pickaxe, I found a nearby lava lake, got some obsidian from it, and was able to make a portal. I still wanted to prep a little bit more, since I know the nether is cancer. I'll go into more detail later on when I actually go more deeper into the nether, but for now, all I will say is that the nether is a run killer, and it is very, very, very AIDS. For now, I went into a different cave and found the deep dark, and also found the ancient city soon after. Now you could make the argument saying how this place is more dangerous than the nether, and maybe, if you actually know how to hold shift and know how smoke sensors work. If you do, then navigating and looting this place is easy. The nether is always AIDS no matter how good you are. Moving deeper into the city, I triggered the first Shrieker. Amazing start. A little later on, while moving to get loot, I triggered another Shrieker, but I triggered it by switching armor. This actually surprised me since I didn't know it could trigger by doing that. That's strike 2. Now, I was trying to get the loot for the final chest, and there was a Shrieker right next to the chest. So there was no way for me to loot it and not trigger the Shrieker at the same time. Now, I could cut my losses and leave the chest alone, but I wanted to be a greedy little loot goblin and went for the chest anyway. And as a consequence, the warden spawned. Two wardens spawned, actually. Needless to say, I got the out of there. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Yada yada yada. I'm out of here. Stupid. And after dealing with that whole ordeal, I knew I was ready for the nether. This thought was only reinforced after hitting this sick and nasty clip. Get it, get it, get it. I'm just actually cool like that. The only real good things I got from the ancient city was a pair of pants that had Curse of Vanishing on it, and a nice hoe, and also a music disc, which I won't really listen to the music disc much, but it is a banger, I will not lie. After walking a bit, I kidnapped one of the locals and forced them to trade with me, only for me to murder them because they didn't give me any pearls. But I did get a nice fire res pot, or, for you simpletons out there, a fire-resistant potion. This will become useful later on. I stumbled upon a bastion and plundered it for loot. Now, I fully expected this to either take more time or have a few close calls, but it was actually simple and easy. The piglin brute didn't even hit me at all. That's how easy this raid was. Of course, my luck ran out as I did have this close call, but this was outside the bastion and it wasn't really that big of a deal. Hey. Well, I told you that fire res pot would be useful. After walking about 500 blocks and a sketchy bridging moment, I finally found a fortress. Only had to walk about a bit over 1,000 blocks. Now going back to the tangent about the Nether. To me at least, the Nether is always the most dangerous part when playing a world. The journey to the fortress, collecting the blaze rods, and the journey back to the portal is all cancer. And that's assuming you know where the fortress is. The only real best case scenario you have is having a portal spawn right next to or on the fortress. Of course, you have the fortress part to deal with, but at least with that, you can skip the journey to and from the fortress. And of course, I didn't get that luck. I had to travel a bit over 1,000 blocks to make it there. And I had to travel another 1,000 blocks to make it back to the portal. Now, to list off all the bad things about the Nether from my personal experience, we have the fire and the high chances of you losing all your stuff to said fire when dying, the rough and harsh terrain making it hard to navigate, the possibility of getting lost, the mobs, and the fact that if somehow, someway you managed to not lose all your stuff when you died, well, good luck making it back all the way to your stuff. That's assuming you know where your stuff is. To put into perspective how much I dislike the Nether and dealing with that when starting off a world, to give off a percentage of me dying anywhere in a given run, I would say the first part, from me spawning to getting diamonds or making a portal, I would have to say around a 10% chance of me dying. The Nether, however, I have a 50-50% chance of dying throughout the entire segment. And the end part, from me making my way to the stronghold and killing the Ender Dragon, I'd say I have around a 20% chance of dying. I have more confidence in killing the final boss in the game than dealing with the Nether. Now, I already know what you're gonna say, but Red, most of these things can be fixed with either a respawn anchor, or just have your cords up all the time, or simply just get good. Or just wait until you have full diamonds so you're prepped and ready. And to that I say, shut up. Look, I'm not saying the Nether is a bad dimension or a bad part of the game. It's an integral part of the game, and it is needed to progress and finish the game. I don't mind that. I actually like the Nether and the whole Nether update as a whole. It's a good dimension and it is needed. I'm just saying, personally, when you enter the Nether for the first time in any given world, it is very difficult and very hard. I actually honestly don't mind it being a hard dimension. Having difficulty spikes in this game is not bad. I would love to have more harder dimensions in the future. I'm just ranting because I often die in this dimension a lot. Is it a bad thing? No, not at all. I really don't mind it. Honestly, it's probably more of a me thing, since I play overconfidently, and I should be playing more carefully, since, you know, my confidence will lead me to doing something stupid and getting me killed. That is honestly probably a me thing, and I accept it. This is, you know, I wanted to put this here because I'm not dishing on the Nether, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, it's just me ranting because I die a lot here. Is it a bad thing? No, I don't hate the dimension any, part of it. You know, the Nether update made it better than before. It's just me ranting because I like to rant. Okay, now with the whole rant over, let's enter a new rant with me fighting these blazes, because these blazes took so long, I didn't even get enough blaze rods for it. I ran out of food before I can continue, you know, killing the blazes, to the point where I decided, you know what, screw it, I'll just head back. And since, you know, the way back to the portal was so complicated, so long, and could probably get me killed, and since I have no food, I can't really run much, and have no regeneration, I said, screw it, I'll just dig my way back there. And of course, the Nether being the Nether, this beautiful thing happened. Of course I have to deal with that bullshit. Of course there's that bullshit, man. It's so bullshit, man. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, dude. Ah. I'm done. I'm done. I'm ending the video, bro. I'm done. That is it. That is it. I'm not dealing with this bullshit anymore. I'm not even gonna bother finishing the world. So this made me mad so much to the point where I ended the recording, I logged off the world, and I deleted the world out of pure anger. Do I regret it? A little bit, yes. I am mainly disappointed in myself because I wasn't able to see it through to the Ender Dragon. I was at the very least hopeful that I would get to the Ender Dragon at the very least. Not kill it, just make it to the end. Well, either way, since the world is deleted, if you want to see more of this, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, and leave a like too while you're at it. I really do want to make, actual long-term videos and not shorts, but that doesn't really leave me much time since I go to college full-time and I need to sit down, play a game, record, make a script, do this voiceover, and edit the video. That does take much time, but I do want to try my best to actually commit to this. Either way, I do hope you enjoy the video, and maybe I'll see you next time.